we're gonna read Rowie Jefferson's Awesome Friendly Spooky Stories. So we should start reading from the changing chapter, and the end of reading at 10th page. And now already for read this one, but with a lot of stories. Now here we go. And first we should read Rowie Jefferson's Awesome Friendly Spooky Stories. And we should start reading from the changing chapter. There once was a boy named Rowan, and Rowan was a happy child. He had two parents who loved him very much, and he had a lot of toys to play with. Sometimes Rowan would bring his toys to school and play with them at recess. But he stopped doing that after he got bullied by some jerks. That made Rowan sad because he thought playing with toys was the best thing about being the child. But Rowan's classmates didn't feel the same way, and they were always trying to act older than they really were. One day when Rowan was in the class, he felt a strange tickling sensation under his armpit. He didn't know what it was, so he asked the teacher, Mrs. Pennington, if he could please excuse to use the restroom. But when Rowan got into the restroom, he took off his shirt and looked at it and was shocked to see the single hair growing from the center of his armpit. Rowan didn't know what to do, so he put his shirt back on and returned to class. And when he sat down, he felt like everyone in the classroom could tell something was different about him, even Mrs. Pennington. And when the final bell rang, Rowan ran all the way home. He knew his mother kept from the tweezers in the bathroom, and he couldn't wait to use them to pull out that hair. But when Rowan took his shirt off, he could see it was too late for tweezers. Suddenly, hair started sprouting all over Rowan's body, and before long he was practically covered in it. But now Rowan was totally panicking. He went through his parents' bathroom cabinet to see if there was anything that might help, and he found something he thought would do the trick. But there was a reason kids shouldn't go poking around in their parents' bathroom cabinets, because 2 seconds after Rowan opened the bottle, he passed out from the fumes. When Rowan woke up, he was in his bed. At first, he thought maybe the whole thing with the hair was just a bad dream, but one look at his arm told him it wasn't grown. Rowan's parents walked into his room, and he was afraid they were gonna be mad at him for opening that bottle of hair remover without asking. But they didn't look angry at all. In fact, they seemed kind of happy. Rowan's parents said they had been waiting for this day for years, and it was time for them to have the talk. Rowan thought they had already had the talk when his parents told him how babies were made, but they said this one was a totally different talk. His parents said that sometimes when the child turns a certain age, their body starts to growing through the changing, and that make Rowan sad because he liked himself just the way he was. But now Rowan thought he knew where this was heading, so he asked a question that had been on his mind all day. Am I becoming a man? Well, that made Rowan's parents laugh and laughed. And Rowan felt embarrassed because it took them a long time to stop laughing. Ha 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 ha. After Rowan's dad wiped the tears from his eyes, he said Rowan was still a boy, but he was a different kind of boy. And when Rowan asked what he meant by that, his dad gave him some bad news. You were a wolf, son. That this was different, not what Rowan wanted to hear. But when Rowan's mom saw the worried look on her son's face, she said, "This was a day to celebrate." Rowan's parents told him he came from a long line of werewolves. Suddenly, the picture of a staircase made a lot of more sense to Rowan. Then Rowan's parents gave him some more bad news. They said they were both werewolves too. Okay, and now we should just start reading from the story because we didn't have many time to read this book. So we should start reading from 12th page for tomorrow and Deanna reading this chapter. So today's story was about that Rowan felt kind of bad when he was at school, and he went to the restroom and put out his shirt and looked at his armpit. There was a tiny tiny hair in the armpit. But when he got home, there was more fur, and there was more fur, and Rowan finally covered with the hair. So Rowan opened the hair getting out, blah blah blah, and now that hair, blah blah blah, it smelled like some bad thing. So he have just fallen down, and his mom and dad have told him that he was a werewolf, and them are werewolves too. They have just take out the fur of it. So this is quite interesting story. Let's see this story for tomorrow. And now, please don't visit my YouTube, and bye bye everyone.